when you hear a man's voice, man, there's something special about that because it's uh, uh, um, a strong person in that house teaching, educating you, and all of that. Most women who don't come from that, they don't. Most of them don't even respect men. Why? Because some man did your mama wrong, and she gonna pass that negative baggage onto you. Don't trust these men. They all the same. Every last one ain't no good. They just want your kitty cat, and that's it. And that's nowhere near the case. There's a lot of good men that's not moving and acting like that. But your mother who's been hurt and your grandmother who's been hurt is teaching you, girl, you better watch them. They don't mean you no good. And that's definitely not the case. But go ahead, man.
Hey, so I do got a question, and I don't want to drag this out. So I would assume before you guys got married, did you sleep over? Was that something that was brought up beforehand, or you guys never?
No, we didn't do the sleepover thing. We only dated for 6 months before we got married. No.
Okay.
There was no shacking up. Wasn't none of that.
You know, just so you know, I don't agree with Hank to the degree of like you don't have to. Your woman needs a father to necessarily to date her. I think that as a man, if you are a leader and if you know you're a leader, you know you're a good leader, then just take a woman that you can work with, right? You don't have to necessarily have the perfect upbringing, but if I know that I can work with you, if I know that I'm getting compliance from you, of course, when we do get together, it's going to be a little bit of turbulence, but that's because she not used to a nigga like you. She's not used to a real leader. It just is what it is. Most women have not had men who have put their family before themselves before. Most of the men they deal with is selfish, so they operate selfish. I think when you really giving a woman, when you show her what a real leader is, the more selfless she'll start to become, the more she'll give. But typically, women aren't dealing with those type of men. They've never seen that. So sometimes you gotta give them a little bit of grace when it comes to like, yeah, like this is the first time she's with a man who has these type of standards. It's the first time she's with a man who like, yo, you essentially got to do what I'm telling you to do. Like that's just like it's like women they're not used to that. A lot of these guys let them do what they want to do.
So that's what I understand. Okay,
go ahead. And you want to respond, and then I'll ask the question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's why you're dealing with a whole lot of turbulence because they didn't have a father figure in their life. No male role models or nothing in their life, and they don't know how to deal with a man. They just know how to deal with cackling ass aunties, grandmothers, sisters, and their ragged ass mammies. They don't understand that. You know, the only man they dealt with was that goddamn rip off ass pastor. That's the only man, and they believe every goddamn he say he can do no wrong. That's why they always in church full effect, lonely than a motherfucker. And he's probably knocking them down.
Like I'm gonna respond to what Hank says because what Hank's saying could be true, but I've personally know women that have had a mother and father in the house, and they was chaotic. They was just chaotic as and it had to do with typically traumatic experience or experiences that they deemed to be traumatic towards them, which now shape their future as far as when it comes to dating. So everything is more on a case by case situations. Like a lot of times they have a father in the house, but they may not have liked how the father treated the mother. So that's why you got to have these conversations because just because the father was present doesn't mean that he was present for her. I did want to ask a question about influence versus control. Like, which one is more impactful between influence or control?
Yeah, I was that's a great segue because that's actually what I was going to speak on.
I ain't done yet, Viz.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just asking the panel what's more impactful, influence or control?
Well, I was about to answer it. So, a woman could have a man or woman could come from a 2-parent home, but if they're indoctrinated by something else, then that goes out the fucking window. It doesn't matter. So influence 100% is definitely more powerful than control. because if you can influence someone to do something, you can control them. That's the very concept of it.
Okay. Anybody else that disagrees with that?
I think a lot of
I mean, I agree with that.
Okay. So you better say something dope. Go ahead.
I was about to say I think a lot of these men are not the fathers that we think they are. When we say, like, you know, get a woman that come from a house with a dad and all that type of stuff. A lot of these dads they just not who we think. Like, we got, like, I know me. I teach my daughter, don't you ever put your hands on a man in your life. Don't ever put your hands on a man. A lot of other guys are teaching their daughters a man should never put his hands on you, no matter what. They teaching them that nonsense of pretty much a man should never put his hands on you versus don't put your hands on a man, don't put your hands on nobody. Like, kind of teaching them that thing. Like, most of these fathers out here just preparing their daughters like, yo, go to school, don't worry about, or they not preparing them like we think they are. I think.
The reason why I asked that,
would it be safe to say though that a mother would have more influence over the daughter compared to the father?
If she's coming from the type of household that I'm talking about right now, absolutely. And that's not the man. A man that we're talking about, the dad has the ultimate say in that household. The dad has the ultimate influence, and the woman is pretty much giving the woman the kids the knowledge from the dad and what his system is and how he sees the world. In my opinion, that's what I respect.
So it's sad that y'all never seen no positive men in y'all lives then. Because if y'all think all men are just these tyrant motherfucking dudes, y'all been dealing with a lot of bad dudes in your life. Because that's not my case. My uncle and my grandfather taught me how to be a man, how to tie, how to operate, move, and do all the things. And I make sure I taught my daughter, keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. Because if you put your hand on that man hit you back. You can't be mad at that man. Because you never should have jumped in that man's face and put hands on him. Keep your goddamn hands. Look, most men are the ones who's going to keep his goddamn daughter off the pole. His mama's going to put her on the goddamn pole because she needs a little extra money to pay for that install she got on the top of her goddamn head. Or she needs her son to be around so she can continue to get that goddamn WIC, them food stamps, and then Section 8. That man being there, ain't nothing that helping on. He's providing some type of sort of income and bringing it home to the house. What he's simping and giving her all the check like some of our grandfathers used to do back in the days. And Big Mama took care of and did pay the bills and did what she had to do. Sometimes even invest. But dog, what you make it sound like all men are bad, all fathers are bad, even if they wasn't the misters. That's not how what most of us was.
I don't think.
Tell it, dope. You were saying that's what you saying though.
I don't agree that most men are keeping their daughters off the pole either. Like, I think, and this is me growing up. This is what I heard growing up, right? There was a lot of men who didn't teach their daughters nothing but not to be a hoe, right? They didn't give them context. They didn't tell them nothing. They said, I will whoop your ass if I catch you out here doing some crazy shit, right? But they're not actually teaching them and instilling knowledge into their daughters of like, and it empowering them of like, yo, this is why you never do this. Like, actually, you need a relationship with your daughter to actually keep her off of the pole and all those type of things. You can't just say, which is what I grew up with, is like, yo, if I catch you doing some shit, I'm gonna whoop your ass in front of everybody. This whole neighborhood gonna see me whoop your ass. That's not keeping you off the pole though. You gotta teach your daughter. And a lot of these guys it's like the thing of like, don't be gay, right? You telling your son don't be gay. What's that gonna do, right? It's gotta be, you gotta just, do a little bit more, like really have a relationship with your kids. When they get home from school and you pick them up from school, talk to them, spend time with them. A lot of these guys, they just come in and they do their job as a man. They're like, yo, don't be a hoe, and I'm out. Like, that ain't how you do it.